All right, 38 special versus 32 H&R mag. Is 38 and 32 enough? And I've been kind of pondering this question for a long time. You know, is this enough? And what I mean by that is I'm not using hollow point ammunition, and I'm not using plus P. I'm using very low end lead rounds in 38 special and 32 H&R mag. Our 32 H&R mag is a 95 grain lead semi-wad cutter, a Federal, and our 38 special is a 158 grain lead semi-wad cutter, Federal. And I want to compare it to something just kind of generic here. We got our Winchester USA 115 grain jacket of hollow point 9mm, and all this ammo was provided by my supporters. This ammo a couple years ago by Ken S, and this by one of my Patreons, Dan. Currently, I really like tests like this because, especially when I use this particular G2C versus this Taurus 605 here, I really like these comparisons because these are almost exactly the same size guns. They both weigh about 20 ounces. They both have near identical bullet travel. They're both the same overall size. So it'll be an interesting comparison to see how something like this might compare to you know, your basic jacket or hollow point, and see if we got any penetration. I have some cans of pop here. I'm going to plink at these. I got the wrong pop. I typically get like diet, and this is regular, so I'm going to shoot those up, and I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. But our main test here is going to be our clear ballistics test. You know, I got 4 layers of denim, which does provide a little bit of resistance even in, you know, solid point bullets. Then we have 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent like our pectoral muscle. Then we have a 1/4 inch medium density fiber board to represent like a ribs and sternum hit, and into more clear ballistics. So we'll shoot that 9mm. We'll see if we got any expansion, how it does, and then we'll compare those lead bullets to that and see what we get, and hopefully not get over penetration. Typically this takes away about 2 inches of clear ballistics if the bullets remain exactly the same diameter, which they rarely do, but when they do, this takes away about 2 inches of it. So what we're hoping for more or less is to stay in this first block here. That would be roughly 20.5 inches of penetration, which is a little bit over penetration because we're trying to get, you know, about 18 inches total without MDF. So we'll get started with this test and we'll see how these bullets perform. All right, first up we have our 9mm. It's rated at 1225 feet per second. This happens to be a 3.2 inch barrel, so that rating's probably out of a 4 inch barrel or something like that. So we're about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's try our 9mm Winchester USA, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get out of this 3.2 inch Taurus G2C. 1076, 1069, 1068, 1076, 1029. So definitely a lot lower than rated velocity. Accuracy is good though. Let's see how our 38 special does. All right, 38 special. I don't see a rating on the box, but you know, these are just standard pressure, low end, very low end rounds. So we'll see how this does. .718, 683, 696, 693, 688. So very low powered rounds, and we might want that though because these are flat point and we don't want too much over penetration. So let's see how our 32 does. All right, 32 H&R mag. This does have a rating of 1020 feet per second, but that's not going to be through a snub nose barrel. But let's just see anyways what we get with our 32 H&R mag lead semi-wad cutter. .883, 929, 884, 860, 861. So pretty decent velocity. It's kind of like shooting a 22 mag. Very low recoil. So let's hit our ballistics gel block and see how these all compare to each other. All right, first up we have our 9mm through 4 layers of denim, 3 inches of clear ballistics, 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard, into more clear ballistics. So let's see what we get. right, so what we're looking at there is I don't really see any expansion. We're at about 19 and a quarter. Pretty good damage. So let's take out the MDF here and we'll shoot near that and we'll see if we get comparable difference or if maybe this MDF, you know, played a part. But what we're seeing has entered the MDF is we don't see any expansion at first 3 inches. Typically that indicates a round that's not so great. So let's go through just plain clear ballistics anyway. All right, without MDF, we'll go up a little bit above that. All right, so instead of 19 and a quarter, we're looking at, bullet turned a little bit, we're looking at about 20 and a half. So only a difference of about, like a little over an inch, but pretty much the same damage here. So it's not extreme over penetration, but it's definitely over penetration. We'll see how our 38 special does. All right, 38 special with the MDF. Let's see what this will do. All right, so we definitely got over penetration, way too much penetration. So what we're looking at is 22 and a half total damage path. So that's a lot of penetration, not as much damage through our initial gel block. So let's pull out that MDF and see how this does. All right, just plain clear ballistics, no MDF. See what this will do. That's interesting. So without the MDF, it looks like we probably tumbled right about here and we stopped at 18 and a half. So that's really not over penetration. That's really, really interesting. I wasn't expecting to have it kind of do the opposite. So I don't know what the deal with that is, but what we can say is we have less penetration than the 9mm that was plain gel. You know, less penetration by, you know, about 2 inches almost. So let's try our 32. All right, 32 H&R Magnum through our MDF. We'll see how this does. Interesting, it arced down, so it hit the bottom of this shelf I have here and the bullet's sitting right there. So what we're gonna have to do is probably shoot it again and a little bit higher to try to catch this, but you know, tumble down. Interesting. Let's try it again. All right, I'll try to shoot a lot higher and see what we get. And what we got there is pretty ideal looking. We're at about 13 and a half, which would typically be about 15 and a half without the MDF. So let's pull this out and we'll try to confirm that, whether that is a fair equation or not. And we'll see how this does. I'll try to go up about there, a little bit higher, and see what I get. So let's see what we get. All right, plain clear ballistics. See how this does. All right, so with our MDF, we had about 13 and a half. This actually have about 16 and a half. So the equation's a little bit off, and that's going to be because this isn't going to deform as much as through our MDF did. So our MDF bullet is probably bigger, so that's why it slowed it down a little bit different from that equation. But what we're seeing here is overall our accuracy and our ballistic performance is favoring the 32. And even though our 9mm had more damage than that 38 special, what I'm actually seeing with this plain clear ballistic shot with the 32 is the 32 almost has as much damage as that 9mm did back there. It has more than the 38 special. So that's really impressive, really, considering all things. So let's shoot those soda cans and get rid of those nasty sugared pops, and let's see how that'll do. All right, with our soda cans, I actually came back all the way to 23 yards because they're about 6 feet in front of my steel target there. They're kind of hard to see, but I figured why not start out with a really good challenge. So I'm going to shoot the ones that are lower on the hill first. So let's see if I can hit one. I knocked the dirt down under it. Let me try the next one up. I can see it. A little high. A little low. I knocked it down again. Next one up. Let me try a few more rounds. All right, let me run a few more, see if I can hit any. Let me try my revolvers. All right, 38 special. We'll see how this might do. Go from the lowest one first. Knocked it over, but didn't break it. Having the same issue. It's so close, but I'm not actually hitting them. So I'll try a few more. There we go. That one, it just won't go down. Let me try the 32. All right, 32 H&R mag. We'll see how this will do for me. All right. I can't hit anything, so I'm gonna put them a lot closer. We'll do some slow-mo and we'll see how that does. All right, now I'm at about 10 yards. I got no excuse now, so let's see what I can do. Wow. Let me try a 38. All right, 38 special. All right. That's it for those 38s. I only left one round of 32 H&R mag left, so that's all I got. I got one chance here and one pop can left, so here we go. Oh, come on, I was robbed of that. So that's what you get today, 32 versus 38 special versus 9mm. Is it enough? And when I'm looking at this 32, I'm going to say yes. You know, it's an excellent cartridge, and especially because it's a lead bullet. When you have a lead bullet, what essentially happens is generally you get about 100 feet per second more over a jacketed bullet because of the reduction of bore drag. You know, copper against the bore, it slows that bullet down. So what you essentially get is you can put a cartridge to a particular level you want, and it takes less powder to propel it at that speed, therefore you have less felt recoil. So what we're looking at here is something like shooting an airweight 22 mag as far as recoil, but a lot more punch to it. So that's what you get today, 32 versus 38 versus 9mm. And you know, with the 38, it did okay. 9mm, not so much. So yeah, I'm really looking at this 32 as being a really great cartridge. So that's what you get. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.